What's up, real MVPs? Ricky Whitmer here, and welcome into the daily video where we take a look at the dampest of dudes, the soggiest of shooters, the moistest of men, and sometimes even the mistiest of misses. These are our Wet Boys. In case you're new to Wet Boys, these are our players of the game from the day prior. Today is April 7th. I am recording this, so these are all players that popped off on April 6th. We want to give them some love, make sure that their performances are shown, and they are getting, like I said, love for their performances. Everyone gets a Wet Boy. Dave, myself, Jake, Soapy, and even the patrons at patreon.com/MVPvids. If you would like to vote and be counted in the nomination, make sure to check out our Patreon page. Silver, gold, and platinum tiers all get to vote for patrons each and every day. However, if you can't support us, there is a vote on our community tab every single day. You can go ahead and have your voice heard. However, the community tab is just to see if they agree with us and the patrons. So everyone's voice is being heard. Without further ado, let's get into it because, completely honest, this is now my third take. First take had no audio. Forgot to turn the mic on in Streamlabs. The second one, Streamlabs decided to revert to yesterday's Wet Boy, so I had to preload those again. Third time's a charm. Let's hope that nothing goes wrong in this video. And let's start with Dave's Wet Boy. He's going to the NBA. He's going with Paul George. Paul George having himself a game against the Clippers. They played the Blazers, and I thought the Clippers would win this game. I had them at -6 and a couple parlays, but they kicked the shit out of the Blazers. In Discord, for the MVP Discord, join it, link down below. I even said, holy shit, are the Clippers kicking the crap out of the Portland Trailblazers, all caps, because I was shocked that they were up 30-some points in that game. Paul George, a big reason why, had 36 points. Kawhi also had 28, but Paul George had himself a game. Where you had 36 points, 11 of 18 from the field, even 6 of 9 from 3. Paul George doing it all for those Clippers. Then we move on to Jake. Jake's the only oddball here. Jake's going MLB. However, Jake's fitting into a theme for this video, and this video is homers. A lot of people, patron votes, my Wet Boy, Jake's Wet Boy, we're all homers today. We're all picking teams that we really love, and we want to give love to our own guys. And Jake's going with Aaron Judge. Had 3 hits in the game, had a big bomb and a big win over the Baltimore Orioles, 4 ribbies to boot. Aaron Judge, basically judge, jury, executioner in that game. He made sure the Yankees were going to get the dub, as they did over the Baltimore Orioles, which should be bottom of the division this year, along with the Red Sox. But that leads into my Wet Boy. I'm going homer as well. I know that, I'll be honest, I know there was no Brog Daddy. I know there was no Sabone Me Daddy in the game, but I got to give love to Nikola Vucevic. This Bulls team came out. This Bulls team was ready to play. Nikola Vucevic popping off for 32, 17, and 5 in his, what seems like 6th game as a Bull. This is probably his best performance as a Bull, even though they all haven't been bad. He was even hitting the most threes he's ever hit in a game as a member of the Chicago Bulls. Got to give some love to Nikola here, and the Bulls getting a big win over the Indiana Pacers. Soapy's the only one on the outside. He's the only one not going with a homer pick. He bashed this pick and then was like, hey, you know what? Game recognized game. I got to go and give this guy a Wet Boy, and that's Steph Curry. He is no stranger to the Wet Boy conversation. He had 41 points. This was a Warriors game, a Warriors team I didn't think was going to beat the Bucks. I thought the Bucks were going to cover. I think they were at -6 yesterday. They did not. The Warriors had a great game, and really behind the shooting of Steph Curry. 41 points. Warriors get the 1-point win against the Bucks. Didn't see that happening, but you know, this Warriors team, Steph Curry, is going to will them into the playoffs. One of the best carry jobs that we're going to see this year in the NBA. And then we get to the patrons. The patrons going with all homers. We had a tie at the top. And that when there's a tie, that means that, hey, Dave, Jake, Soapy, one of us, all of us, some of us get to break the tie. And today I was the decider. It is decided. I was the decider for the patron Wet Boy, and I had to go with the guy that I would have given a wet boy to if Nikola didn't pop off, and that's Joel Embiid. I know Soapy voiced his opinion, said really all he did was score 35 points, didn't even have a Joel rebound game, only had 1 assist. I'm like, yeah, but he scored 35 in the game against the Boston Celtics. He went 16 of 20 from the foul line, and not only 9 of 19 from the field. Most of his points came from the foul line, but Joel Embiid having a game against the Boston Celtics. I almost said Baltimore Celtics. The Boston Celtics. And Philly NBC throwing some major shade as in their graphic. They even put on there that the Celtics had 0 answers for Joel Embiid, which they did not. What I will say now is let's see how the YouTube community, how the rest of you voted. Do you guys agree with the patrons? Don't agree? And today the vote does. Joel Embiid leading the vote at 41. Trae Young, he also could have had a wet boy. Basically, that whole Hawks team setting a record for threes. Patrice Bergeron in last of the vote. He had a hat trick in his game. Lucas Giolito striking out 10. Carlos Correa getting a couple big hits in the Astros win over the Los Angeles Angels. See, I'm on an NBA kick right now. But yeah, Joel Embiid. YouTube and patrons agree today. It should have been Joel Embiid, but this is where you guys come in. If you haven't voiced your opinion, who should have gotten a wet boy for today that didn't? What do you think of our wet boys? Also, it's wet boys with an I, wet boys, not wet boys with a Y. I know, a little bit confusing, but we'll be back tomorrow to crown 5 more wet boys. Let us know if there's any that you want to nominate, as most of the games have happened right now. I want to thank you guys for watching and listening, and as always, have a good day, everybody.